Yeah, okay, Jen. Yes, you. So that is why you lose it, and I think your face is a little bit slimmer than.
Smaller.
Yeah, smaller.
I think so. I think I lost like two kilograms, but
Oh.
when I waited again like very recently, it's almost the same. Anyhow, I still look slimmer,
Yeah.
but I try. I will eat more. But now I'm fine. I feel very strong at the moment. Before I feel a bit weak, and uh, our family also affect with the disease. So we had a problem during that 2 weeks. So it's good for us that we had a break. uh, Ajahn Poo said he would like to join the workshop, right?
Yes.
We haven't
But
seen you.
yes, yes, Jen. But at that on that day, I have to go to the school and then have to do some of our like stuff or contract with our grantor, and then
Oh,
also some like receipt settlements. So that is why I cannot get to go
oh,
there.
it's a
Yeah.
pity because
Uh,
it's very. I think it's what should I use the word? Stimulating, or I think it's a very good game, and it helps us to understand the principle and the real world, because it's like a mock-up real situation.
yes.
So it also talking about the 17 development goals, and then ask people to act. They have they have given uh, like um, objectives or projects that they need to fulfill,
Mhm.
and they try a lot. They have given money and time for them to spend, and
Oh.
then some of them need to achieve like goals from economic goals, cultural, environment goals, something like, each goal have like the colors of the card different.
Mhm.
Some of the tasks of the some group, they have to like collect more times for them to be like easygoing, and they have a lot of time to spend. For some people that made an easy life, something like that. But some people are like the economists, they need to achieve a lot of money, like the sum of money that by the end of the game they need to achieve that. And everybody tries their their best to have, to achieve the tasks that they have given. But in during the game, luckily that people are like collaborate, so they exchange some. For example, my group, we need to have like in it's kind of industrialized value. We need to collect the blue cards for at least 6 to up to 10. We only have 2, almost the end of the game, but we still have more money, so we exchange money with the people who didn't want the blue cards. So
Mhm.
they want to make more money. So we trade, we exchange. Sometimes we exchange our projects, something like that. And I think it's good that because they have some people at the table, it seems like they are mm, the world keeper. So they will have points or credits, economical credits, environmental credits, and social credit. So some projects, if you do that, you will read, you will have, for example, our first project, we build some some kind of factories. We invest like 600, I don't know how is it, dollars, euro, what is it, 600, and we have in return like 1,800. So we have a lot of money in return, but we spend, we also need to spend some more time. We need money and time to spend on that. We have this money in return, but then we cost environmental credits of the world. So after we finish this project, we need to take one credit out of the board. But economic, in terms of economic, we put one more credit to the world. So, you know, after the mid break, we look at the world and it lost all the environmental credits. So whatever projects that needs to cost the environmental credit, they cannot start the project because there's no credit for them to take out, something like this. And we speak in our group that, wow, we need to help the world. We have one project. It's a nuclear plant. If we finish the project, the world will have environmental credit more. So we invest this. We said the world needs environmental credit, so we invest that regardless of our tasks, because actually with that project we haven't got anything that we need. So but we said the world need this, so we do that. So I think it's quite fun, and you know, it's kind of make you think a lot about. And at the end, when people reflect what happened during the hours, that the past hour, and then people say that they understand that whatever they do, it affects the others, it affects the world, and we need to collaborate. I think that's the two main points. I think it's very good, and especially for our class, I think it's very good. I talked to Ajahn Poo that we should do something like that in class, but I think that's a professional game because they have a lot of cards, you know, projects, money, times, and returns, benefits, something like very elaborate cards. So that's why they can, and that's incorporate like almost 50 persons in at a time. So I think it's a very interesting and stimulating game. Okay, what about the others? I think we have like 10 minutes for that. What about the others? How are you? How how were your weeks? Sapir, do you have a very good break
Oh, yes, Aden.
in Chiang
We have
Mai?
a- yes, yes, Aden. The break was great.
What did you do?
Even though we have the break for this module, we still have to work on the other
I see.
classes.
I
So I
see.
was like a bit working on those things, and I was traveling around
Yes.
during the previous week. Yeah.
Where did you go? Can you tell?
Yeah, I go down to the southern part of Thailand,
I see.
at near Burma border. Yes.
Uh, Ranong.
No, it's near Maison. in
Near
California.
Maison, I see. So you travel by car?
Yeah, the
By
bus
bus?
with the bus.
I,
Yeah.
I see. Great. Good to know. What about the others? Would you like to share for a few minutes? I think we have like 2 or 3 minutes before we start. Roland, I think you won't be here today because Ajahn Poo told me that you are busy, right? Maybe he just listen. He cannot engage. And Clyde, are you okay? Well, nobody wants to share. Jonathan, you want to share anything?
I guess right now, just as you hear, like I lost my voice because like
Oh,
I'm having a sore throat, and then
I
like
see.
I'm coughing right now. So
You have a fever. You look red.
no, no, no. The red color is because of the light.
I see. So be careful. Maybe you need to check. If you have more symptoms, you need to.
Yeah. So yesterday I test COVID, but it came out negative. So
I
I'm
see.
good.
That's great. But it's not sure at the first stage. So maybe you need to check it again. And I
Yes.
think the university has a system. If you have a problem, you can ask, you can actually log in and then report from the online system, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can attach to the health system of the university. I think it's quite good actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
hope you are fine.
Thank you.
Okay, and set P, which is I would like you to put the name that
Some
you
point,
want.
some point, agent,
Some,
some point. You
some
can call a
Ah,
friend is EP.
yes, Zippy. You can call me Zippy.
in P.
Zippy, yeah.
Okay. How are you? And how was your break?
Yeah, I'm doing good in the break of this semester, but of course we have to stay for the others
I see.
subjects. So most of my time, you know, is working. Then I'm trying to read the articles and work for the assignments.
I see.
And yeah, but last week I traveled to border like a mess out.
With,
Yeah.
with your friend?
Actually, I'm going there, yeah, for a meeting. Yeah, that is.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Today, we like to continue. Last time, I remember that we talked about the the city we need and the challenge that we the drive, like, right, the drive of our city, and then we still left some information that actually I have already had it. So today I like to finish that, and I call it sustainable urbanism. I think most of the time, or many of you mentioned about that you need to know what is the principle, what are the good things about city. So today we like to talk about some ideas or theories or principles about sustainable urbanism. So I think it would help you to expand your knowledge and your way to see things. I hope. Before we start, can I ask you? So this is your last semester, right? In theory, I mean, because it's only 1 year course, right?
This is,
EE?
for me, it's the first semester.
Oh, I see.
For all of us as well.
I see. So you can register whether the first or the second semester for your first semester, right?
Yes, we think so, because when we register for that, this is for us is very first semester.
I
Then we
see.
have to be finished in 1 year.
I see. So you will have like quite a big gap in between, because actually it's summer for us. So I hope during that time you can develop your IS project, and you need to submit something when, do you know? I mean your
IS.
proposal, yeah, about your IS.
For IS is I think we have to do before our academic year, before 2 weeks 2 months ahead, right?
So 2 months before, you mean the
The
last
academic
2
year,
months?
yeah, the last 2 months.
I
I think so. I need to be compared with other friends. I'm not quite sure.
see.
Yeah, it's correct.
It's
To be
correct?
graduated, we have to take an English exam like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yes, we have to. I think we have time to spend in our IS project. Is we have got, I think, two months, right? We have to attend 2 semester plus 2 months for doing the IS.
So in terms of timing, it would be more than 1 year, isn't it? Because you start from
June 20.
June.
Yeah.
June, and then this will finish in, oh, maybe, yeah, I think.
If I'm not wrong, I think we need to submit our proposal first in coming semester.
Yeah.
Yes, we need
What
to
I
send
thought.
our proposal next semester, and then we need to start. We need to finalize and start writing in May or June, I think.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Good luck for your IS. I think it should be very exciting, because I haven't been through of your midterm paper, but I just read some, and maybe by the end of this class we can talk about it. Okay. So I would like to start now. We like 20 minutes after 2. I would like to start our sustainable urbanism theory, right? And I need to play slideshow. Okay, I hope it's fine. So before we start, actually I myself would like to make it clear. I like to clarify. I'm not sure whether you are clear from the other subject or not, that what is governance, and we will look into like some sentences to make myself also clearer. And after this, I think after the theory, we can go to the planning process. I think I still have like one one class left for this course. So as you said, as you know, we said that we looking from the top down and bottom up process, and the top down process also the cover planning process. I found that governance actually has it wide range. We can talk about many things. We will see. I think okay. Are you very clear what is governance up till now? Do you study in other subjects that talk about this? Can I ask?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I answer?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes. So we have a subject called public policies and governance. So
Right.
in this subject, we are we are encouraged to read the reading regarding the natures of governance. So in these readings articles, they says that there's many kinds of governance, like network governance and hierarchies and so on and so forth. So so to conclude, I think once you adapt and agitate in front of the governance, you can get different kinds styles of governance, and it really becomes complicated what is really mean. And many scholars also used to use the term governance by combining with other kinds, adages and nouns and so on and so forth. So at the time, I think it is complicated. But if we think about the only term governance, I think it is mostly what the government do. It is mostly what how the system or how the system or governance how the system or government is going on. It is also different from one government to government in a specific country, and also from one country to another.
Right.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Colin. And I just like to make it clear and ask you to look at some like 4 sentences. And I think it's quite good for us to remind us that the government, what governance refers to, and it said it refers to the structures and process that are designed to ensure accountability, transparency, responsiveness, rule of law, stability, equality, inclusiveness, empowerment, and broad-based participation. So actually, I like, this sentence. It's summarized in a very short term, structures and process, right? And it also represents the norms, values, and rules of game. So it can be like law. It can be, many things. So I think you understand it well, but we just like to make it clear that what is it? Governance system sets parameters under which management, okay, this word come again, management, and administrative system will operate. I think so. It's relate to, as you said, Colin, that many governmental activities. Governance is about how power is distributed and shared. It's also about power, right? How policies are formulated, priority sets, and stakeholder made accountable. So if you look at the process and the structure, so it's quite big to me. So governance in sustainability, urbanism, it may incorporate many things, but I think one of the important thing is the planning process. Have you studied in the other subjects about the planning process? So if not, next time I would like to look into the planning process, and maybe it's not so fun, but I think it's quite good for us to understand the circle of planning process, and then we understand that why and when, and just to be a structure of activities for us when we practice this in the future. I hope that. So if you have already known about the planning process, so you can tell me from now on until I think until the end of today, because next time I'd like to, if you don't have anyone talking about this before, I would like to talk to you about the urban planning process. Okay. So more sentences, I think it's more for, it encompasses a diverse range of actors in decision-making process, as well as the formal and informal structures that have been set in place to arrive at and implement decision. So it starts from planning, implementing, evaluating, and then planning again. So we can endlessly talking about this governance, and what I and Aj.Poo talk together and would like you to engage in some time is, when we go into the site, to the neighborhood, and the process that we have done, what we learn from them, and how we can incorporate them into the system. Last time I remember, I think some of you asked about how the learning city projects help the sustainable urban governance. Yeah, right. I think it's a very good question, and I think that actually learning cities aim at people to have a lifelong learning process. During that process, it's not only include them into the learning system, learning environment, but it's also empower them to involve in a lot of activities, and they can design, they make the decision themselves in many development projects. I think that's how learning city concepts helps the governance in this term. So in the urban context, it is the process by which governments and stakeholders have collectively designed how to plan, finance, and manage. So these words come familiar to us, like to plan, to budgeting, to finance, and manage it, right? So and urban governance is also the sum of many ways in which individuals and institutions, both public and private, plan and manage the common affairs of the cities in a continuing process where conflicting or diverse interests may be accommodated and cooperative action can be taken. So these sentences help us to be aware that we are, in the process, that it's not a single determination. Even though we said everybody needs to collaborate, we need to look at the sustainable city together to have a very good city, something like that. But in real life, we have a lot of conflict roles and conflict of norms, rules, something like that. So there's no one answer for everything, for every city. So we need to look and to think about it. So the challenge is to enable sustainable and inclusive urban development, which, you know, dealing with planning process and budget spending. I think these are two to make these planning process and budgeting spending to make it real. So we need some rules, right? So then the laws and the rules how to make it runs through. That's why it cover quite a wide range of things. Okay. Okay, I think you quite understand the governance, maybe better than me. And now we are going to talk about sustainable urbanism. I think this sentence you are familiar with, right? We need to start like urban population is getting larger and larger. And, you know, they said by 2050, there are no place that can be expected to be rural inhabitants higher than urban. So from 30 years in the future, I think most people will be in the urban areas. I'm not sure about Myanmar. What do you think in 30 years time? You think this will be true for Myanmar too? Colin? Yes.
I think it's depend on a lot of factors that we cannot determine. So, you know, politics can also be a determinate factor. Yeah,
Right.
if you have the military government continuously, there will be no visible economic developments and no industrializations and possibly no urbanization. Rather, you will have more immigration. Many people are trying to get out of the country. So even you will have less urbanization and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So if we have a democratic government, I think this is possible. Yeah, possible. I mean, it is now only 2022. There's even around 30 years to come. So yeah, it is possible if we can manage properly.
But for Thailand, I think it's like 30% at the moment. We are not sure that this will be true, but I think in European countries, it was true like in the past already, you know, in some countries. So people are in the urban area more than in the rural. But in their rural areas, it doesn't mean that they lack of things. They have a lot of facilities and technologies as well as in the urban area, but in a different way. So I think it's quite nice to think about that, and we really like to see, you know, what happened all around the world. But this is what the Western said. Okay. And they said because of that, sustainability is a must. So now we are familiar with the goals, sustainable development goals, and I think this one we focus on number 11, right? But as we know, I think all of you understand that there's no one single goal. They are all related. From the game, they also summarize that they are all related, and they found what happened. I think it's a very good explanation in that. So this is all about sustainable development goal that we have already known. And for goal 11, so two significant words, right? Sustainable and development. I think we already know the what is it, the meaning of the word already, but just to make it pass very very quick. Development that meets the needs of the present without compromise the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Maybe it's not so clear here, but it's quite clear that we cannot do things as we like without thinking about our children, right? They also need to do things like us, so we need to prepare the world for them too. But the world has a lot of problems nowadays. When you look at the news, you will see there are a lot of news. And only yesterday, 2 nights before, that Bangkok has a big flood, very very big flood, and it said, it's never been like this for quite a long time. It's different from what we had in 12 years, I think 11 years ago. We also have a big flood, and it's like from the north until that time. Bangkok known before that, the big amount of water from the north moving down to the central part, and then it's going to go to Bangkok, and the governor, or the management change the way that the water, instead of going straight to Bangkok, they change it to the other part of the country, and that makes that part also flood and affect a lot of agricultural areas. And that time, by the way, it flood in the airport, and we have the photograph of the airplane on the water. And but this time, I don't know, they don't really know what will happen, and suddenly a lot of rain and then flood. So it's different from that one. And it's also, you have heard the news from, I don't know, China or in United States about the storms and the weather in Europe, that it's hottest temperature in, I don't know how many years. I cannot remember, because it's stunning, like in 100 or 900 years. And I thought, oh, really? It's so severe. But all this, we know that city have the key role, right? And if we think about it said Cement Green City Index. I'm not sure. It's been quite old, actually, in 2015, but I think it still be familiar. It still be quite the same. It start from, like, the higher is the better. From Copenhagen, Stockholm, Oslo, to my surprise, San Francisco, because when you read about the countries that has effect in the greenhouse effect a lot, United States of America come first, right? But San Francisco is one of the good green city index. Vienna, Amsterdam, Zurich, Vancouver, Helsinki, and then New York come number 10, Seattle and Berlin. So this is how they try to see that which city is green. And then there are some, Asian Green City Index which unfortunately no information about Myanmar or Laos, but the others in Japan, China, in Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, and also some in India, Philippines. Yes. So these are the Asian Green City Index from the CMIN as well. So we can see only one city that well above average is Singapore, but the rest above average: Hong Kong, Osaka in Japan, Seoul, Korea, Taipei, Tokyo, and Yokohama. So Bangkok is here, Beijing, Delhi, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Nanjing, Shanghai, Wuhan. So it's average, but below average, we have Hanoi, Manila, Mumbai, and well below average is Karachi. So just to see how green are these cities, you can have a look yourself if you are interested. Maybe there are other green city index as well. So sustainability is a long-term, as a concept, it is a long-term responsibility, right? It has environmental, economic, and social dimension, as we already know. Sustainable development, I think we have already passed that. And the other explanation is improving the quality of human life while living within the carrying capacity of supporting ecosystem. And now we have already talked about carrying capacity, right? So I hope you still remember. Sustainable development is any form of positive change which does not erode the ecological, social, or political system upon which society is dependent. I also like this explanation. And this one is very good. The ability of a system to sustain the livelihood of the people who depend on the system for an infinite period. Livelihood of the people. We talk about this a lot. And then sustainability turned into a movement. During the past decade, sustainability gains its importance in many aspects, including how human systems are designed and developed. Sustainability should become a societal norm for all participants in the process of planning and developing the built environment to work as a single organism toward a shared purpose. So it's talk about, the whole world. It's very ideal, this explanation that everybody needs to think about this and it should be norm for everybody. So now we talk about sustainable urbanism. We all knew that environment, economics, and social are interconnected, and the world problems are more and more severe. Sustainable urbanism become a must. So it's the same. It needs to be done. It needs to be. It's still very significant today. Let's see in more detail. Okay. We are starting to look into this concept. The origins of sustainability concept, it goes way beyond like 1898, the Garden Cities movement. Ebenezer Hobart wrote a book called Garden Cities of Tomorrow. Can you guess when it said, Colin, you are raising your hand, right?
Yes, Ajay. Yes. Thank you so much for
Sorry,
invitation.
I close all the window because I cannot see my my screen. So now I see it. What would
Yes.
you like to say?
Yes, Ajay. Yeah, I just have a question regarding to the sustainable, regarding with the concept of sustainable development. And
Yes.
of course, we are now going to learn about the sustainable urbanism. So my question is that per country, we have different measurement regarding the economic development, like GMP, GDP, or per
Right.
capita,
Right.
and also HTI is also a combination of, three patterns like life expectancy, incomes, and education. So
Right.
there's also some measurement like GDH, like growth, domestic happiness, and so on and
Right.
so forth. So my question is that how do we measure a particular country, regarding with the sustainable development? Which country have, higher sustainable development? How do we
You
determine on this
you mean
pattern?
that index? You mean
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Yeah.
I think they have. I haven't looked into details. So what criteria that they put to make that index? It should cover like the rate of the use of energy or the successful projects, or I don't know. We can look into details and
Yeah.
yeah,
Many
because
country are setting their, sustainable development
right,
goal 2000 blah blah 2000 blah blah. So
right,
there's many goals need to be achieved.
right.
So, but still, I
It's
don't know how
difficult.
to measure. Yeah.
Right. I think they have like many criterias, and we need to, yes, in details we can look at the criterias, and then actually we can discuss that whether it's fair for the poor country or not. Roland, I saw your hand. Do you,
Yes.
you still
Talking
want to
about
talk?
yes, I was trying to talk about the criteria I feel the
Right.
use in
Oh,
measuring sustainable development. And
okay.
I think one of the major criteria that they use is technology. I think technology, the level of technology in each country, it's
Oh,
a measuring factor. Then also the way they utilize resources, the available resources this country have, resource utilization, that is also a very important factor. Then recycling, how is the recycling process is
exactly.
also, these are key components, key
Right.
tenets of sustainability. How do you recycle your waste? How, if we look at a country like Singapore, I'm not surprised Singapore is rated very high,
Yeah.
because when it comes to waste recycling, when it comes to their level of technology, when it comes to green technology, they
Right.
are really one of the top Asian giants. So
Right.
then also quality of life, the quality of life in each
Yes.
country is also a very important factor. So I feel these are some measurements, how the ways sustainable development is being measured.
Thank you very much. Yes. We can look into details, and I think I like to list. Maybe next time we can talk about it in more details. Thank you very much. I think your information is insightful, and it helps us to think about the how to measure sustainability of each country. Maybe it's not a good one, but it's only an example that I can find and use to make us think about, what about one city do to the world, or to their inhabitants. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Then we come back to the origins of the sustainability concepts, and I just said about Howard Garden City. Have you ever heard about these kinds, or this idea, Garden City? And can you understand the diagram? It said 3 magnets. What do you think about the three magnets. They are like town, country, and then town, country. Do you understand this? Do you know what's the good point of a town or city or urban area? What are the good points? Why people want to move to urban area, to a city?
Because it has more infrastructure, like more the higher like educate something kind of like education or some banking system. Everything
Right.
is advanced and also the accessible for the new technologies.
Right, higher facilities, right? There are a lot of facilities for them to good living standard, of course, job opportunities, yes, and educational opportunities. Yes, thank you very much. So there are a lot of things good in the city, very good for them. So higher, and they also have job opportunities, which mean higher rate of return, right? Money, more money. And what about good things in the country? Can you find one? What do you think? I think they have good things. Not all bad. They have a good in terms of not facilities, but quality of life in terms of what is it? Time and environmental. They have food, right? Close to where they stay. They have very good air, right? No pollutions. What else do you think? Obtain opportunities for their livelihood. Very, very broad. So the garden city concept said we need both things because you know, during that time it's about the industrialization time, especially Howard is a British thinker, so he's in England, and you know that time UK, not they don't call, they call it the Great Britain, right? That time Britain is a very powerful country because they achieve the industrialization revolution before other countries. That time, Britain is the center of the world. And of course, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of opportunities, the production system, a lot of things happen there. But the city were polluted, and they saw that problems. That's why Garden City of Tomorrow said, we need the good things from the city. We also need the good quality, good air quality, more open space, more view. So if you come to this Garden City, you will have both. That's why it said the three magnets. Urban facilities, but good environment, lots of green space. So they said the city should develop in that way, and they are, you know, connected to each other. You will find this kind of idea later. So that's why I said it's the origin of the sustainability concept. Okay. We just want to pass through this, and if you want to stop or want to say something, just say it. Okay. Sometimes you can just ask because sometimes I need to turn off the channel to see your face. So if you say something, I will definitely come. So the other concept, Jane Jacobs is an American activist, 1961. So long past from that time, quite a while, many years. So have you heard about this lady, Jane Jacobs, The Death and Life of Great American Cities? Nobody said so. I said no. I thought no, right? And it's been said that she comes from, from the time, it's been said that postmodern planning, because at the modern time, before her time or during her time, that time, development of the cities are, cars are the major mode of transport. Sorry, I cannot find where to switch off my my microphone. Okay. So during that time, people widening street and make way for cars, and they want to because that time it's the automobile era, but Jane Jacob lives in a small neighborhood in New York. And she said, why mixed use neighborhood with accessible and small blocks and different age buildings and high density? Why this kind of development or urban area is not good? And she said, this is very important because within this kind of area, you will see a lot of urban life. People know each other, and when you walk along the street, you know everybody, and you stay on foot. You can walk to wherever you like. So she thinks that's very important, and it makes people feel strong, because people are gathered together and they are kind of community or communal sense. So she said that that's very important. Not street, if you can remember, or if you think about the highway, you cannot see life of the people along the highway. There are a lot of examples in Thailand. Once when I travel from here to the northeastern part of Thailand, to Khon Kaen, I used to work there, and when I came back home, back and forth from there to Chiang Mai, I passed, many highway that was widening from a small road. Normally, when the road passed one village or one town, small town, people from both sides, they know each other, right? The temple is the other side of the road, and then you can be the other side of the road. But that time, one morning when I looked from the bus, and I saw an old lady trying to cross that huge street for I'm not sure, for like 8 lanes, 8 each lane. So it's a very big street. So it's a highway, and there's a bridge, a walk bridge cross over that highway for the people to the other side, to the other side, to connect to each other. But that old lady look at, climbing up for 5 meters and then going down for 5 meters. It's too hard for her. Anyhow, crossing a big street is very hard for her as well. When I look at that, I felt so sad. My heart was touched, and I feel that, oh, urban planner or urban, or what is it, highway engineering needs to think about the life of the people, not only make cars pass through very fast. So I don't know how can she cross from her house to the temple at the other side of the road. It's very sad, isn't it? So from this perspective, she's after she tried to say that it's important. Afterwards, I think people think the movement of urban life, or think about the people come back. And this is how in Houston, we when I look at this photograph, I feel so shocked. And can you imagine if you are in one of the blocks there, somebody put you down there, you might probably lost. You don't know what to do. If you don't have a car, you cannot go to anywhere, right? So that's how Jane Sakakop try to find that, city need to be for people, not only for car, and small blocks of neighborhood should have a place in the city as well. So after that, so people think about that. And not so long after that, 1969, another landscape architect, Ian McHarg, he's the one who put the new technique in planning of overlay. Overlay mean, put layers of information in the maps, and see through the maps that there are many criteria that you need to look at, not only one criteria. And of course, he stressed to nature, and it's in his book Design with Nature. He said somebody said this book paid attention to nature, but perhaps too little interest in human. It's been said that the division between nature and human not truly sustainable. Outdoor space are very good, but still rely on cars. You can see from this, this is from his suggestion. The upper one is unforested plateau, but then forested plateau and forested valley. So of course, he stressed a lot about the significance of natural environment, of trees, of forests. But then some people said we need to think about people as well. Not only nature will make the sustainable urbanism. And then we move on to Robert and Rion Clear, 1973. During that time, when you want to build something, their zoning, I think, I'm not sure about Myanmar or Philippines, but in Thailand, we still practice the zoning regulation at the moment. But from 1973, these two architects said the anti-zoning system to separate residential, work, and recreational space. Because you know why? Why separate residential place, workplace, and recreational space from each other? Why why these two architects said it doesn't work. Can you tell, EE?
Is I think it is think about for the people and also like for the like old age people, because sometimes when they stay at home,
Right.
they need some, they don't like very noisy and very crowded in their views. So I think it is better for to create this kind at the time they think it's better to create those kind of things separate from the recreation space and residential area and the workplace.
You think it's good to separate, right?
But it is good for in terms of for the like old age people.
Mm. Well, but for example, if you separate that, you will have workplace in the city center, and then you will have the residential area like in the suburb, right? So during daytime, people come and center in the city. The residential area will be like vacant and quiet. Sometimes it's unsafe because there's nobody there. People in the daytime, they come to the city center. During nighttime, people move from the city center to the suburb. And then the city center now is very quiet. Have you seen the American films? Sometimes when you walk in New York during the night, there's nobody there except some criminals or homeless, or so the city center become unsafe during the night because people move out to the suburb. And then it also causes a problem of, what is it? Traveling time, which is, it's happened now in Bangkok and also in Chiang Mai, I think. Luckily, I stay quite close to the university. I don't really have to commute from the suburb to work in the city center. So if you do that, you will cause a traffic jam and you will lose your time. People in Bangkok and vicinity can travel like 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. So they have like 4 hours traveling time. So they don't have time for the recreation or whatever. But in Chiang Mai, if you stay close to the university, it will take only 15 minutes, right? So you have 3 hours left for you to jogging, to read books, to go to the cinema, whatever. So I think the zoning system have a problem. That's why these two architects, they said the anti-zoning system, they said it's not good. So they said, Colin, would you like to say something? To switch on your camera. Is it okay?
No special agent. Yeah. It's just an idea that so in some area, especially in the lefty country where
Right.
the lefty government, like socialist government rule, they usually do the kind of social engineering and social planning, the peoples and environment, and trying to separate, from one place to another, like a working place, and living space, and recreation area. So under this system of government, there were also a lot of zooming, programs and activity.
What's the point? Sorry.
So my point is that Yeah, my point is that, you know, during the Cold War, especially, Saskai or zooming system was very popular in both leftist and rightist country.
Right.
But now, yeah, people are starting to think about it in a different way. Like,
right. Because now they know that zoning system have a lot of problems in, especially in United States, you know, in big cities, that they have this problem when talk about the problems of daytime and nighttime safe, or you know, daytime and nighttime life, and people move to the suburb during the night and to the city center during the daytime. It happens a lot in American cities. And Jane Jacob is an American citizen, right? So, but Korea are the UK citizen, and I'm not sure, maybe European, maybe not UK, European citizen. And Sapio said in Myanmar still use the zoning system. Yeah, also in Thailand. But
Yes.
now when you look at the plan, city plan, or for example, London plan, you won't see residential area, you will see mixed use zone, institutional mixed use zone, commercial mixed use zone, you will see that. So it's mean that even though they put commercial, but they still encourage the mixed use. Not only commercial will be granted to build in that area. Also, they also try to have like residential or recreation, or sometimes workplace in that area too. Okay, Sapio, what would you like to say? And EE afterward, yes.
Ajahn, thank you so much. I just would like to relate with this anti-zoning system with the concept that we have been learning over the course of this sustainable urban management module. So we have been discussing about the misuse. And to me, I understand the city from two categories. One is planned city, which has a lot, which has a lot of planning and mostly the government plan it. And in those cases, like they have the zoning approaches. However, like on the other hand, we also have the evolving city. So which is naturally the people gather there and then they trying to build up the system or like the facility that they really need. And I think the zoning approach really contradicts the human nature. For me, like I think the people gather in a particular place and then they try to build up the facility. For example, like if they need the hospital, the healthcare, they try to build at the hospital. And if they needed a shopping mall or like a convenience store, they build it. So I think like the misuse system will be much more applicable or like relevant to the human nature of evolving city. So I think I think anti-zoning system is trying to what is it called, like trying to provide a urban planning system which is much more relevant to the human nature. Is like kind of evolving city, evolving our residential spaces with the facility around us, so that we are not what is it called, like we're not
Lack of.
so that we have proximity in access into the facility.
Right. Thank you very much. But later on, we will see the example of planned city with the concepts of anti-zoning system, as you see here from the labyrinth. they said self-sustaining community, small, but they put like mixed use together, not very big. This one is also a planned city. And then the new urbanism laterward, afterwards we will talk about it. And they plan a lot of we can call cities, not really cities, but settlements. And they use this kind of concept. I think it can be also used not only in the evolved city as you mentioned. Yes, what would you like to say?
Yes, it is quite similar to the what Sapio said. And then even though in modern decades, I saw this kind of zoning system city in about in Washington DC, and then also in Myanmar is like in Naypyidaw, because the recreation, the area who is working area and residential area separated each other. And then as you said before, it is the safety of the city is not yes, it is worse because at the nighttime and daytime.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And yes, and most, I don't know, most of the planned city that I have heard, in Putrajaya in Malaysia, I have been visited it once with my students, master student in planning, and it's not successful. People, people who stay there are the governmental, the civil servants. They need to be there because their workplace is there. But on Friday, they moved to Kuala Lumpur. And then Monday, coming back to Putrajaya. That's it. And when we go there, it's on Saturday. We have like great buildings, a lot of good architecture from great architects. They are very nice place, but there's no life. Not very many people there. And they have a very big mosque, very beautiful, but of course there's not so many people except tourists. So I think that's also the planned city that I have experienced. Thank you very much. Okay, we are moving on. Oh, okay, this kind of environment, I cannot find the La Villette, exactly La Villette, but this one is the work of the both architect style. So you can expect something like small, something like this. So it's neighborhood like. And then we are moving to the one we need to talk about. So it's quite recent, late 20th century. Urban design, social dimension. Jan Gale in 1980s, also an architect who stressed on the life between buildings and the using of public space. So what need most is optional activities in public space for people interactions and strong urban neighborhood. So he talks a lot about the people will attract people, and if you have a very good environment, good physical environment, you will create activities and it will draw people to come to use the area. Sapio, not trying to say the planning system are not good, but the human nature has more prefer to have facility around us, of course. Mixed approach is more evolving. Okay, thank you. So he's another architect who stress on the the activities within the city. And he said the quality of physical environment, they said The activities are divided into 3 groups: necessity, optional, and social activities. Necessity are activities that you need to do whatever happen. For example, go to school, go to buy food, something that it's necessary. Whether it's rain or it's good weather, you need to do it. So it doesn't matter whether you have a poor quality physical environment quality or good physical environment. A bit different, but not so much. But optional activities are activities that, you know, optional. It's option. You will decide to do if you want to. For example, go for a walk and what is it? Window shopping, looking, just enjoying yourself, looking around, something like that. If you don't understand this, please say. And social activities are, of course, the activities that happen not by yourself, but with the others, right? Talk to each other, meet friends, whatever. So it's been said that if you have good quality physical environment, the optional activity will be so great. So, and he said that we need this kind of activities to make the cities lively, to make public space has been used a lot. Okay. And also another architects who are interested in the social life of small urban space, and he's an American, and he's investigates, I think, 20 small urban space with the time-lapse camera, and then he come up with the conclusion. Popular public space are good access, visible, and have seats and more choices. They have sun, wind, shade, and relate to food. I think relate to food is quite true with the Thais, probably with the Myanmars as well. I'm not sure, because whenever we are sociable, we eat. You know, eating is one of the habits that we need. Tea shops, right? Okay. So he too that said that if the urban space are good, people will come, and he suggests that the, you know, good access, visible, have seats and have sun, something like that, people will use it, and also, you know, relate to food. So if they have like food vendor, that public space should be able to incorporate more people instead of chasing them away, right? But in Bangkok, you know, on the footpath, they chasing the food vendors away from many footpaths. I think it's in Siam Square area that there used to be a lot of food vendors, but they are swiped to go to, I don't know, markets somewhere. But I think this is one of the factors to make people come to use public space. And he, as I said, he used the camera labs to record, and then he also put it in the maps. You can see in the maps here, you see X for male and O for female, and then circle mean they're coming together and they talk, something like that. So you see how people choose to sit, you know, at the edge. Nobody, you know, choose this area or somewhere around here, because I don't know, it's a psychological issue, right? Because you want to be You want to see the others, but not to be seen clearly, right? When you sit at the back, when you know in the classroom as well, when you come, nobody choose the front row at first, except it's the last row that you need to take it, right? It's the same. And I think this chart is very interesting that he said the amount of, here is the amount of the open space and here is the amount of people who use it. So it said, if you see the first one and the second one, it's not what is the word, cooperate, right? For example, the first plaza 7110, it has open space, only very small open space, but look at the people who use it here, a bit quite big, right? Maybe larger from this one. Lexicon is here. So it's been said that not the number of the amount of the open space, but it's the number of seats that he said. Actually, there's another chart with another chart. Maybe I forgot to bring, and it said that not amount of the open space that affect the people who use the plaza, but the amount of the seats. So maybe it gives us the idea how to arrange a physical space for people to come and use it. And then we move to another movement. I can say movement, the compact city, urban design, social dimension in the late 20th century. The compact city from the Oxford Brookes University in UK. Sustainability strongly related to urban form, suitable size to walk, cycling, and transport to reduce cost and travel time. So it's been said that if the form or the size of the city is not too large, compact city, it will bring more sustainability index because people can walk, can cycling to wherever they want to. They don't need to, every time they want something, they need to drive a car, which sometimes happen in American cities a lot. Compact city, high density, and mixed use are good for social interaction, diversity, and urban life. This is the major concepts of the compact cities. They have a lot of books. Even nowadays, they still produce. So you look at like Mike Jenks, Elizabeth Burton, and Katie Williams. These names, especially Mike Jenks, you will see a lot of books talking about the urban form and the sustainability. And late 20th century, for Douglas Farr, who write the book Sustainable Urbanism here, he said the three key movements of this century is the smart growth, the new urbanism, and the green building movement. Somebody put the smart growth for the ideal city, right? But maybe we will talk about the smart growth later on. Each of these key movements highly worthy in and of itself. Douglas Farr attempted to knit these three important movements into a design philosophy to create truly sustainable human environments. And I think it's a very good approach to look at these three movements. Smart Growth Agenda, 1996. So they have like many many principles start from a range of housing opportunities and choices. So not only, one type of housing, not only single house, or not only detached house, not only row house, not only condominiums or high-rise apartments, but there should be a combination of choices. And walkable neighborhoods, smart growth. Of course, we talk about, when you separate zoning, workplace, and residential area, of course, it will cost a lot of travel times, travel costs. But if you put everything compact near together, you can walk to anywhere you want in your daily life. It's much better. Community stakeholder collaboration. This come to like social aspect of the community. And then number 4, foster distinctive, attractive places, strong sense of place. This come to term of kind of a design, something that is important or significant activity or building. It should be very clear that this is the important facilities or building of this area, to make it strong sense of place. Because if you look at for example Houston that I show you, there's quite loss of sense of place, because you can see that kind of big buildings anywhere. You can see a lot of car parks with no characters. If the area has its unique character, it will have a strong sense of place. So this agenda supported the design of the distinctive and attractive place. And then number 5, fair and cost-effective development decision. So it's like, if you want to build something, it should have benefit cost analysis, and it's okay for many people. Of course, number 6, mixed land use. And number 7, preserve critical environmental areas, natural beauty, and open space. So it's come like, environmental friendly, and we need to preserve that. So it's very human. And number 8, variety of transport choices. Of course, you don't need to drive a car to everywhere. You can have a public transport to go anywhere. You can cycling, or you can walk to the nearest facility that you want. But if you want to go to find some special facilities, a museum or a big shop, you can choose your public transport, something like that. And number 9, strengthen and direct development toward existing communities. So it should look into the existing community, not destroy it, right? And then number 10, compact building design is also important aspect of the smart growth. And probably the one who talk about smart growth, I just read something very fast. You don't incorporate this kind of principle into your analysis. Maybe this one can help. And to the next one, new urbanism. I think this one is it's most recent for the sustainable theory, but most recent, but it's like 20 years already. So it's not, or almost 30 years maybe. 1993, now 20 years, right? Okay. This new urbanism, it said like the International Congress of Modern Architects is another group in 1928. The Congress of New Urbanism in 1993 was a design reform movement with a state focus of bettering public health and design by improving cities and housing. They share vision of promoting traditional urbanism as an antidote to conventional sprawl was found by 6 architects. You know, they support conventional, they support traditional urbanism, which means small scale neighborhoods instead of urban sprawl. It said conventional sprawl. So during that time, I think sprawl is a like what normally happened. So it was found by 6 architects, you know, these names: Peter Calthorpe, Andres Duany, Elizabeth Moore, Elizabeth Prater Cyber, Stephanos Polisois, Daniel Solomons. So these are the names of the architects, but they are American architects, to my surprise. The new urbanism has separated into two sub-ideas, which is the TOD. I think you might have heard of a lot of TOD, which means transit-oriented development. The TOD principle, of course, just like what we have heard before, right? The garden city, they are compact nodes, and then they link with the mass transit system that can be arranged in response to local constraint. They can be arranged in any form. The TOD principle: walkable, mixed and low-rise, medium density housing. Okay, mixed housing, retail and civic recreational employment center. So they have like at the center, they have some important or facilities that people need to come. And it has only 1/4 of the mile radius, which is, I used to change it to meters. Now I've lost it for a while, so I will come back later, don't worry. And it has like central transit stop or bus or rail, and the area is quite small, 30 to 150 acres, and bound by open space. Okay, this is the principle. So it needs like small walkable centers. And the TND, traditional neighborhood development. The differences between TOD and TND is only that the TND also stress on the design, while the TOD interest in only the planning, not in terms of design. As you can see, the walkable, small size, mixed use are the same, right? Environmental sensitivity, of course, the same. But then they have like hierarchy of architecture and streets. So if you are in the main street, it should be wide. And then if you go to the local road, it should be smaller and smaller. And then the smallest is the footpath, connect only your house with your neighbor, something like that. And it should have the finite geometry with legible edge and centers. This is in terms of design. If you look at one city, if you go to one city and it has very strong sense of place, you know that where is the center and where's the end of the neighborhood. It should help you in terms of sense of experience at that place. So it has a center and edge, it has optimum size, same, balance of activities, fine network of interconnecting streets, and give priority to public space and to appropriate location of civil buildings. Okay, maybe it's quite long. I think I will finish it by by 4. So I hope it's not too much from now. And they said that the space is a range from urban core to natural environment, and it's from here, urban core, like special district, urban core zone, urban center, central urban area zone, suburban zone, rural area, and natural area. So it's a range of characterized space from the urban center to the nature zone in terms of design. And it has the smart code. Maybe I like to skip this because it is in terms of design, maybe not affect with you a lot. So I like to pass this. And there are some examples of the design. This is in Windsor, Sapir, as I mentioned. This is a newly planned with the concepts of what I have just said before. So it has like, you see this is the center, right? And then I think it's next to the sea. Some of the facilities are in the center, and the residential are in the outer part. And you can see that they use a lot of architectural style to make it like a traditional development. And they also have some critics, somebody who don't agree with them said, this is not American ancestor. This is not the American old style. And they said that they bring the styles from European style, something like that. But I think it's very attractive, and it's been carefully designed. For example, this is the big street, right? The main street with the wider street with the open space at the between the two lanes, and then the smaller road, and then this road only connected at the back of these houses. So they design in a very sensitive way. For example, the civic buildings, they put something great. The post office or the church or the city center, governmental city offices, and then the houses, look at the space that they design. So like the style that they have. And they also talk about, this is the back of the house with the pool. They also talk about, maybe I haven't take the other one, that they also talk about the balcony that face to the street, that makes connection from people inside to outside. So they talk a lot about the people interaction. So for the summary, they said that it has a compact form, mixed use, smart transportation, and urban design. And then another principle of the green movement, which is talking about the design, and I also like to pass this because it's about the design green building, which out of the. Okay, before we are stopping for this session, do you have any question, or do you want to discuss anything? Please. Some of you might already sleep. It's quite a long, informative, a lot of information here. Maybe if you are not interested, it's and after this, I I like you to pair the foreign words, just a small game. Do you want to discuss anything? If not, we will move to the game. So please wake up and I will open the chat because I think it's the easiest way that you can put it in the chat. And if we have all the pairs, we will stop. Okay, can you see clearly? What would you like to pair? I didn't put number, you just type. You can type. You think what's going on? What? The first one. Okay. Sapir. Other guess? Yes, Syria. I agree with you. Yes. Yeah. Copenhagen and cycling. I think so. Because I think Copenhagen is one of the biggest ratio of people who cycling to work is in Copenhagen. Change of with mixed use, but we don't have mixed use, have we? April, you are right, but do we have mixed use and small block on the board? What about the others? Do we have mixed use small blocks? Oh, we have, okay. I didn't see it myself. Have you got all? So I think this one, can I write it? It's okay. Oops, sorry. I want to write we have number informal sector. I cannot write it right. think this one is okay. Again, and cycling, number 1. Done. Number 2, informal sector and urban vendors. Sapio, you have another suggestion. Number 3, I think this one. Oops. You can talk. You don't need to only type. You are very quiet. Yeah. Number 3, I think. Jane Jacob, I think this one. Do you agree? Number 4. We only left urban sprawl. We only left 4. Who's done with urban sprawl? Of course, I think so. Number 5. Yeah. Can we put complexity with this? Or it's not compatible? Okay, thank you very much. Can we put complexity with live, work, play, 3 main activities of city? Maybe it's not so clear, right? But the others, I think it's okay. Thank you very much for your guessing. So at least I like to take photos. Can I make notes? For the chat. Ooh, it's quite long. So thank you very much. I think we should have a short break because it's quite long now. And we will come back. How many minutes you want? Okay. Okay. We will come back 5 after 4. Okay. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Very much, Ajahn.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
That's a big problem, and like political issue and other aspect come. So there are other consideration in terms of design, universal design, and also protection of environmental quality. We can use the design to help that problem a lot. Open space enhancement, stormwater system, because nowadays in the planning regulation, for example, in Bangkok, they talk about stormwater system because they said we will lack of good quality for water, which is so surprised because we have a lot of flood problem, right? But at the same time, we have flood. At the same time, we have problems of clean water as well. So stormwater is one of the way that we will have clean water easily. So in Bangkok, the comprehensive plan said if you have the stormwater tank to keep stormwater in your project, you will have some other incentive. We call incentive. You can, for example, pay less tax, or you can build higher or something like that. So they put like incentive for people to do something like this. And the infrastructure also, like communication system or the transportation system, we need to have the high performance one, because these are effect or the things that we do. Actually, I want to finish, but anyway, that time I think most of you are so tired, so we stopped before. And this is all the books that I have for this lecture. If you're interested, I think you can have a look. I suggest the Sustainable Urbanism from Douglas Farr. And you can also look at the reader, that you can find a lot of articles, and you can look at the one that you're really interested in. And we also have the New Urbanism and Smart Growth Manual and the Charter for New Urbanism here. So I think we will finish very soon. Actually, I put critic on midterm papers. Aj.Poo, would you like to join at this session, or it's okay? I'm not sure because he just said okay, but he doesn't show more. Maybe he's busy. Okay, I haven't finished all the papers, and I think some of you still do not submit the paper. I'm not sure because I have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 papers with me altogether. 5 sent to Aj.Poo and me, but 2 sent to Aj.Poo, but Aj.Poo has already forwarded to me. So I already have 7 papers at the moment. So I think the ones who hasn't submitted yet, so you should submit it very soon, because I'm not sure how will he rate it. So won't be able to tell the grade at the moment, but when I read the paper, I found something that I like to share with you. So in principle, we should like give the total picture of your city globally, regionally, and locally. The ones that I skim through, most of you give the picture, but maybe not the connection, or the role the role of your cities. Maybe you just put the lens is too small. You just put your city on the map, but maybe if you said something, for example, some of you said that it's a touristic city. So, okay, I understand, but I don't really know where's the location of this city or this island to the others. If you said something, Sapio, your paper is with me. Yes. So I think if you give the information good enough, you will bring the people who don't know your city to come to understand and ready to discuss with you what will happen to your city. Okay, some of you have already done something very good. So this is just a principle that I come up with. And afterwards you should analyze or state problems, in planning process. State problem after setting up the objectives or goal. State problem of the place is the first step, very first step that you can before you can go further. It may be not a good thing that you talk about problems, right? But of course, when you talk about problems, you will plan to solve the problem. So you will know what is the critical point for this city and what should we do to improve it, right? Because governance and management, we need to improve things. So I think at this stage, you should state problem. You can also use SWOT analysis. Do you know SWOT analysis? Yes, I think you know. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Because if you use this, you will be able to not only show the problems, but you can also show the good sides, the opportunities, but you can also think about threats, which mean something is out of your control, but you need to be aware of that threat, right? Okay. And after this, so you introduce your city very well, and then you have said that your city has this kind of problems or good points, this kind of opportunities or threat, and then you can choose the principle to suit, right? And drivers for change to suit that roles, problems, and opportunities of your cities. So if you choose it and you explain why this is important to your city, that's perfect, okay? And then the last part, you should synthesize. You not only discuss or talk about each principle or each item separately. Of course, you will talk about them in details, but then at the end, you need to relate those principles. As you said yourself, right, that those principles are all related. And if you can point in which way that you can relate it, for example, EE, can you give an example how to relate your principle or relate your drivers for change one to another in your discussion?
Yes,
I think
like for
you.
example, yes, I choose like principle like number 2. Then I connect with the driver or team like I think number 1 and 2 as because it is correlated with how I like the city that I want to in the I want to be in the future should be should be consequent with the principles, and then to get those to be in line with those principles and with my dream, I have to use the right of the right driver of the chain to implement or to get the
Well,
idea of my future city.
well, actually, I like you to be uh, just be put it into detail, not the you are talking about principle, and you're talking like what I have said, that okay, we need to relate it, but number two, what is it and why you need to relate to this, and you need to aware of what if you relate this, like something like that. Anyway, I think Clyde, can you give an example here? Today you haven't switched on your video, your camera.
Hello, Ajahn. I'm so
Uh,
sorry. I'm really not feeling well. My throat is not good, and I think I'm
oh,
about to have a fever.
I see.
But yeah,
Sorry.
in
Oh,
regards to to the paper, what I did is to recall what we have discussed in the past. I started off with Ajahn Kitika, where his approach was on bottom to top, and all of the things that he has discussed, and also it was followed by yours. And lastly, I wrapped it up with with a brief synthesis of my overall report.
right.
And I also included the essay that we have discussed, where discussed and I submitted, where I elaborated all of the principles and drivers that are applicable to the context of my residency of my city. And with that, I also provided a brief maybe analysis of the plausibility of these principles on how it can be applied in the in the context, in my city context.
Can you just tell us only one which one relate to which one, just for an example? What do you find? I think your last paragraph, you have tried to explain all those principles and drivers that you have chosen. Can you just tell us which one you relate with which one and what do you find, very shortly?
Excuse me, Ajahn. I don't understand the question. What do you,
Okay.
can you further elaborate it maybe?
Well, actually, I just like you to say that, for example, number two. mm, ooh, affordable, accessible, and equitable. Uh, I if I choose that, I choose it, and I choose why this is important to my city. And if I choose health and safety for another principle, can I relate these two together? Because as we said, all things are connected. Health and safety, is it related to affordable, accessible, and equitable? You can help if you want.
Hello, Ajahn. Can I
Yes.
manifest? Most of my principles, the city that the principles that I use to frame my image of an ideal city is rooted in the human centricness, because as you have said, it's true, Ajan, that each principles are interconnected. So these principles, the first one is the socially inclusive and engaging aspect, where I envision a city where the diverse cultures is celebrated while there is no undermining of the marginalized or or other cultures or other traditions displayed by other group of people included in the city. And also with this, I included the principle 9. It is the city we need, which is safe and healthy and also promotes well-being. This is derived from the necessity and the timeliness of the problem of the COVID-19 pandemic, where the global political economy is suffering a huge drawback as they suffer the public health crisis. So I also see it as something that is applicable to the city, to the secure context, which is my city. And there is an urgency to combat this certain problem. The next one would be the city we need is collectively managed and democratically governed. This one, this is somewhat related to my first principle, because as I said, my focus really is the people-centricness and the deliberative potential that should be catered in a certain city. And with this, I think this is also something that is relevant in my case, because corruption is very rampant and very prevalent in my context. And I think it is high time to create urban strategies or governance or public policy that would ensure that such system of corruption would not flourish in the context of my own city.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry to make you talk while you're not so well. Thank
It's
you very
okay,
much.
Ajan. I also want to talk earlier, but I every time I
Yeah,
talk,
I know.
my throat is
So please,
itchy.
right, please take care. You should drink a lot of lime water, lime warm water or lemon if you have it. Okay, thank you very much indeed. So I just like to point out that it's quite important that when you discuss, you should relate those principles or drivers together, so it will make your paper very interesting and sound very good. Total picture could include like basic information, location, area, population, whatever, and roles you can, and stakeholders. Some of you talk about the administrative system, NGO, NPO body, something like that. I think it's okay. And other system, communication, transportation, and roles of the city. I take this from one of the report. Roles of the city, urban, rural, center of the region, something like that. So it could help people to understand your city. And as you said, you analyze state problem, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. So you need to think about external environment and internal environment when you talk about this, because normally, for example, threat is something external environment that you cannot change, but it will affect you in a bad way. So all in all, I think inclusiveness and participation is still, come to the top one of the most significant factors for sustainable development nowadays. Because I said that because when I was in planning school, when I was a planning school student, and at my time, I remember the process of participatory process, when we have a rule that if you draw a comprehensive plan, you need to ask people to agree, or at least tell them what is the plan, and do you have any objection or something like that? When that time I remember quite well because just graduated from the planning school, and my friend have already worked in the planning department, and she came as an officer to Chiang Mai because I work in Chiang Mai just just after finish the not as a student, but just finish our just graduated. And I asked my friend that whether you need to show this like in a very big map, because if you put in a very small map, nobody would understand what's what, because lay person, when they look at the land use map, they don't really know what is what. And she said her boss said try not to show too much. So that's the participation, like 30 years ago. But nowadays I think we cannot do like that anymore, because for example in Chiang Mai there are a lot of active citizens and a lot of NGOs and NPO bodies that can look through this process. So it's still going on in real life. And oh, this come a bit would you like to score yourself if you know the principle? It doesn't matter that you can put like A for yourself, because I will definitely read to your paper and then we'll see. But self-evaluation is one of the process, and I think it's quite important. And I really like students to do that, even though when I teach in the design class in architecture school, I still ask students to participate and sometimes ask them to self-evaluation. And I think it's fun, and I don't know, it's a process that when you look back to the other's work or your works, and you have a good manner to make judgment. I think judgment is a good word. So would you like to put grade for your papers?
Is
You
it
can put
great
it
or
in
scoring is from zero from
ABCD is
or
okay,
ABC?
right? Or if you want to put in 9 to 10, or that's okay, because A is 8, right? So 8 to 10 is A, 7 to 8, 7 is B, right? 6 is C, and 5 is D. I think normally they said something like this. But if you have like a minus or plus, for me, for example, if 7 is B, if I put B minus, which it will be like 7, and then it will be like B, it will be like 7.5 or 7.4 something. It depends. And B plus, it will close to 8, something like that. You can put anything you like. Yeah, I haven't heard you today. Are you okay?
Yes, Ajay, if I have to put myself, if I have to school myself, so I will put myself in the between, C and D.
Really? Yeah, what's your number?
814.
814. Here. You put, sorry, I need to C and D, right? C to D.
Yes.
You don't like your work?
Yeah, yeah, because at the whole week, I was traveling, but this is my, I don't want to excuse this. This is my, it's okay for me, but yeah, I have to accountable, for
Yeah.
my work.
So
Yes.
thank you very much for your self-scoring, because maybe I can, if I read, you can have like B or A, I'm not sure. Depends. But it's good to know.
Oh, yes, sure.
Okay. You can write, I can put it here too. You can write in a chat if you don't want to talk. I can put it afterwards. And I think this is the last part of of our class.
I think
Quite long,
as
isn't it?
for me, and then
PE?
after seeing your explanation, the scoring point and the best and figure that we have to be included. So I think I mostly included in the driver or connected with the driver or chain and the principal in my paper, and then also I also
Don't be
that's
shy.
only
Okay.
that's only I don't mention very clearly about the SWOT analysis, but I mentioned some of the weak point and strong points of my CT paper. So if I have to give myself is 8.5, 8 or
Okay.
8.5, yeah.
Thank you. And Jonathan, I already have your paper, I think, Ajahn, who have forwarded to me. Okay. Nobody wants to give score for yourself. Eugene, are you here?
Just one thing, I'd like to make sure I have submitted my paper, no? So
Yes.
thank you again.
I think I have Colin, Eugene, PE, Yamino, Sapiel. Yes, yeah, yes, I have yours. And
Thank you.
And Clyde. I think I have like 7 with me at the moment.
Hello, Ajahn.
Actually,
I want
I also submitted my assignment before the line.
Who is
Moyi,
speaking? I cannot see you.
Moyi,
Monji.
yes,
Okay.
Ajahn.
Monji. You have submitted your paper?
Yes, Ajahn.
Monji. I haven't got it. What's your number?
810.
810, Ajahn.
Oh, okay. Okay. 810. This one. 810. Monyi. No, I don't have yours. I don't have yours at the moment. Maybe Ajahn Poo forgot to forward me. I'm not sure. I will
Yes,
put here. It doesn't matter because Ajahn Poo will also look at your paper. I just like to, what is it? Give response to your paper, because it also include what's we discussed in my part before. So I like to read through. I think it's nice. It's fun for me. I like to see how can you connect the dots. It's very
yes,
nice.
Ajahn. Thank you.
So I haven't seen your paper yet, so that, but if you have already submitted, it's okay.
Yes, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pierre, Clyde,
Ajahn,
Nikki.
I also would like to confirm, do you receive my paper or not?
I cannot see who are you. Who is talking?
CP, so wait.
CP, CP. What's your number?
815.
815 or maybe. I'm not sure. I don't have it at the moment.
Okay, I actually submitted, but I will forward it to you now.
Thank you very much. I can
Thank you.
put stars here. Thank you. You can also self-scoring if you want to.
Sure. I would say from B to C. Actually, I am a bit satisfied with my assignment, but I submitted, late, one day late. That is why.
C to B, you mean?
Yes.
B.
I mean B to C, yeah.
Oh, B to C. Okay,
Yes.
don't worry. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think, I don't know, the others are so quiet. Maybe they don't want to say anything.
Hello, Ajahn. Oh,
Actually, I also submitted my paper before the deadline. Now I just forwarded the mail to you again.
I see.
Yes, Ajahn. My number is 880.
Yeah, I think I have yours. Yemin. Yamin O. No, probably not yours. Okay. Thank you very
hello,
much.
Ajahn. I'm Rim and X04. I just want to confirm my paper is in your hand now.
No, not yet.
Hey, I submitted it since
Really?
since
804.
yeah 8:04. I submitted my paper.
To me?
Yes. Both of
Okay.
you, Ajahn Kito also, and you.
Okay, I will have
Yeah.
a look. So I put
I
stars
just
here.
I submitted my paper since September 1.
Oh, okay.
I
Maybe
emailed you. Yeah.
maybe I didn't look it thoroughly. I will look at it again, and so I put like here the stars for what you have said. Okay.
Hi, Ajahn. I just forwarded my paper to you. I submitted mine earlier. I don't know if you can check.
Roland is
Yes,
okay.
802.
802. Okay. Yes, I think I have yours. Do you want to scoring for your paper? Well, anyway, you can, I don't know.
Well, I'll score myself between a B and a A.
B and A. Okay, thank you. Your paper is quite long, isn't it? A lot of information, right? A lot of information, I think.
I tried my best.
Okay, but I haven't read it thoroughly yet. So, okay, thank you. I think we have like 8 more minutes. but it seems nobody wants to self-scoring anymore. Just, like a game, small game. Thank you very much indeed. And I'm not sure that this principle help you to understand what are the sustainable urbanism. Maybe you understand it a little bit better. So next time you think planning process is fine, isn't it? Or you think it's too boring, or if you don't want planning process, we can discuss with Aj.Poo, and then we can change to, because as I said, it's a very wide range of the governance.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, for me, yes, I would like to learn more about the planning process, and then also if I have a chance, I also would like to learn how the budget spending, budget plan or budget spending.
Oh, budget spending. Okay. That's okay. Thank you very much. I think this is for today. That's it. Thank you very much indeed. Have a very nice weekend. Somebody said something. Thank you.
Very much indeed, Ajahn.
Thank
you so much.
and take care. People who
Thank you, Jen.
And take
Thank
care.
you very much. Take care.
you.
Somebody who's
Bye-bye.
starting to be not so well, please take care. And I hope you can be very healthy very soon. Thank you very much indeed. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Aj.Poo สวัสดีค่ะ